Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone's feeling great out there. End of year, everyone's putting out the top 100, top 50s, top 25s. Been loving all these videos that everyone's been doing. Some of them are value based, some of them are just favorites. I like both. Super interesting to see where everything falls in different people's collections. Just seeing some fantastic ones. And I wanted to get in on the fun and do one as well. Mine's going to be a little different. I'm going to go with my 50 worst cards in my collection based on value. And this will be VCP value, sorted by least. And yeah, I think it should be a pretty fun countdown. And basically, if something came up as 0, I either eliminated it because it isn't one of my least valuable cards and it just wasn't in the system, or if it was just a grade that VCP didn't have, I just sort of did a common sense equation to get a value that would make sense. So yeah, so let's just get right into it. Before we get started, I'm going to start with this here. So this is a slab, and it costs $24.99 from PSA. If you are not a member, get you a nice 45-day turnaround. So this would be $24.99, and we're only going to go down from there. We'll actually do one honorable mention as well. This gorgeous Mini Minoso 1959 Topps. I'm doing him as an honorable mention because this card in a 2 is valued at exactly $24.99, which is the cost of that empty blank slab. So this is the same value as the empty slab we just saw. And now let's get into the real countdown. Number 50. This is my 1970 Pete Rose. This one is valued at about $24.13. Next up, the GOAT, Ricky, 1985. This beauty is one of my faves. There's a lot of 85 cards. The traded, the O-Pee-Chee, who has like the Yankees and A's combo. So there's going to be a handful of Rickies in this countdown. He's a significant chunk of my collection. So next up, Billy Martin, 1954 Topps. This is valued at about $23.27. And Billy's actually going to come up again. He'll be mentioned again. Next up is the oldest card in this countdown. It is the 1889 Duke and Sons with Shadows, Quack Doctor. This gem of a card is 135 years old and worth 23 bucks. Next up, Rookie of the Year, the clean shaven Yankee legend, Thurman. Beautiful card. And this one is $21.66. Next up, Whitey Ford 1959 Topps. I love every red 59 Topps. That's definitely my favorite background color. This Whitey gem is worth about $21.30. Next up, Roberto Clemente, 1973 Topps. This was his last card, as you all know. Amazing stats, the 3,000 hits, clean 3,000. Legendary guy, and glad to see he's in a top card countdown of mine because he's one of my favorites. Next up, this is one of my newest cards. This is my newest card, actually, that's on this countdown. The 1954 Bowman Larry Doby. Love this card. Just barely lost MVP that year to Yogi. Really love this card. And it's valued at about $20.50. Next up's a cool one. The 1958 Topps Felt Emblem Insert. Also funny, we have the Dodgers and the Yankees, given this year's World Series. This is super cool though, this card. Love this. The baloney and the bazooka. This one is valued at $20. Next up, this is a super special one to wrap the first 50 to 41. Look at this beast of a card. 1975 Topps Mini, Kenny Holtzman. The winningest Jewish pitcher of all time. Look at that cut. This was one of those cards I was eyeing for a long time because it was such an absurd cut. And I had to end up pulling the trigger on it. Rare 7 for me. And this gem is coming in at $19.95. And that is the first 10 of the countdown. Okay, next up is number 40 in the countdown. 1984 Topps Ricky, the GOAT. 427 steals. At this point in his career, he grabbed about another 100 or so that season. And had about 19 more seasons of stealing to go. Now we have a little special slab because we've now hit the member price of a PSA slab at $18.99. See the back. Okay. Next up is number 39. Giant Gunners. I love this card. Love this card. Gorgeous copy. Coming in at a cool $18.50. Next up, Nolan Ryan, 1975. Another fantastic card. This is like definitely one of the coolest cards. This one, 1848 in a 2. Number 37, the 1964 Topps National League batting leaders. Tommy Davis coming through with a nice little crew right behind him. Next up, Second year card, Rod Carew. Really love this card. Coming off his Rookie of the Year season. Rod Carew was born on a train, literally in the Panama Canal. Love this back, nice little piece of tape. That tape got this down to about 18 bucks. Next up, shout out to Orlando. This Camilo Pascual All-Star. These are such a cool set of All-Stars. He's coming off a 17 complete game season when you got this one. And this was at $17.99. Next up, the legendary Don Mattingly with another guy I recognize, the GOAT, Rickey Henderson. This is the Topps Tiffany 1988 with that nice crisp, bright, traded style back. And fun fact, Rickey was on base for half of his Grand Slams that year. Next up, yes sir, another Rickey. This one, getting stuck. This one is his 1986 All-Star Yankees. Really love this card. These things are dirt cheap. This bad boy is at $8, and I think it's coming in around $16.65. And we're getting another repeat. Nolan, 1974 this time. Another fantastic card. This was, yeah, this one's look at that. Looks like he's about to blast Reggie with 100-mile-an-hour chin music for slapping him on the ass. You guys know that story? It's so good. It makes Reggie just as much of the man. And then finally, in this 40/31, it's a 1958 Bazooka Baseball Contest card. $5 a week from All-Star Game to Christmas. Big 17-inch portable Emerson or a 4-blade camp knife. Get me in on this. This card coming in VCP at $16.02. Okay, we're now in the next 10 with the true rookie, Robin Yount, hand-cut Hostess. I don't know when this actually came out, but I like to call it his true rookie. And there's a little more Robin Yount adjacent things to come in this countdown. Next up, 1955 Ralph Kiner. Love this card. The 55 Bowmans are awesome. This one's like very funny, like what he's doing in the TV. I always found this one to be a great one. And this Ralph is coming in at $15.64. Next up, a fantastic card. The Elston Howard Stand-Up. Show you the back, but there's nothing there except for some schmutz and a loose cut. And this Elston Gem is coming in at $15.50. This next one's a very funny one. Love this card. Just think Gordy is making a hilarious face. But yeah, Got a 1953 in the countdown. He didn't have much of a career, unfortunately, but he did play a part in drafting Robin Yount, believe it or not, because he became a scout. Next up, super cool card, and this is actually the number 26, so we're halfway through this Sadaharu O, and this was sort of a celebration card after he hit his 756th cruising in the relief vehicle. Awesome. Check that back out. And this wonderful card comes in on a clean 15 buckaroos.